use it daily, or you just kind of learning it? I hear you on that. Cool. Well, we're going to get this show on the road. And so today, the title of the webinar is brand-led marketing using AI. Um, and I'm your host today. So my name is Nathan Klug. My company and my partner and I, we run a company called Blue Rocket Marketing. And it's specifically focused on helping insurance agents and agencies grow their practice within the insurance space. I've been in the insurance industry for 15 years now, and I am a recovering insurance agent. I haven't written a policy in about 5 years. I still have my license, but we switched over to the marketing space about 5 years ago. And our real focus on that was we saw a huge gap in the marketplace of marketing agencies that didn't really know the insurance space, and we're helping agents out on that side. And so since we've run agencies, we've built, we had a small IMO as well. We decided that we really wanted to focus in the marketing space and provide that level of context to agents and not have them get charged an arm and a leg, because we really love the insurance space. We believe it has one of the most impacts on people's lives. And unfortunately, when we all got our license, they taught us about how to run a business and market our company, right? So that's the joke that I usually use with getting our license, and that rarely happens. So that's really what our focus is, and why we're starting to host these workshops, kind of as a community service to the insurance space. And anybody that wants to join, then I know they're technically free from a cost standpoint, except for your time, which is the most important aspect that we all have. So I promise that through out the course of what we're going to be talking about here, I'm not here to waste your time. I want to give you valuable information that you can utilize in your practice, that is going to both save you time and be able to allow you to build some real content that is helpful for the leads, prospects, and clients that you have. So that's what I'm going to go over today. This is not, I don't have a formal presentation, because this really is going to be built more of a workshop. So with that said, first off, thank you for everyone answering about you're familiar with AI. So to ask, and like I said, I'm gonna ask some questions. We're gonna be pretty interactive within this, so that I can tailor this to what everyone's looking for. So, and Alex and Jared, I know you guys mentioned that you guys use AI on an everyday basis. What AI tools are you using? Is it mainly ChatGPT, or is there something else that you're using?
Yeah, can I unmute and explain? Does that work?
And yes, it's just the four of us right now, so
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
free to unmute and explain.
All right, I guess I'll go first, unless you want to, Alex. I mostly use Adobe related products for imaging, and then ChatGPT for, like, if I have writer's block. Luckily, I was a writer in college, but yeah, it's very helpful for saving me at the time when I go, oh gosh, what do I need to say? So I'd say mostly that, but I want to get better, you know?
That makes sense. What about yourself, Alex?
Yeah, I just mainly using ChatGPT, and
Okay.
yeah.
What would you say I know, Jared, you mentioned you're kind of using it when you have like writer's block and trying to figure out stuff. What would you say that you're using it, the biggest use for ChatGPT right now is, Alex?
Email scripts and phone scripts.
Okay, sounds good. And then Scott, I know you're learning that side, so unless there's
I have used ChatGPT. I've used ChatGPT as well. For like a disclosure, for these landing pages that I'm developing, I had and in seconds, there's disclosures, and you can make it shorter, and so it works very well for that kind of stuff, or titles of an article, that kind of thing, is what I've used it for so far.
Absolutely. So this is great. This gives me a good foundation for that. And the reason that I want to start off there is because as I'm leading into the tool that we use, we built out in our platform, and there's going to be some things that translate the ChatGPT on it. But one of the things that I've heard from most agents that we work with is one of the largest problems in using AI is that it doesn't really know your brand voice or your brand playbook and your about what you're all about. And so that takes some training for the AI to actually understand that. And either you directly train it, and there's prompts and things like that you can do to help the Chat GPT understand those pieces, or it kind of learns it over time of your preferences, how you talk, and things like that. Um, so because of that, that's one of the reasons why this tool was created. Is because um, for you to even use it, you have to put in your brand voice, your brand playbook, and your product playbook before you can even use it properly. So what I'm going to go through today is how that works. And there's two end goals that I'm looking for on this end. Is one, of course, is just full transparency if people are interested in our the AI that we built. But then two, of course, is take any of the information that we're going over, because I'm going to give some prompts and stuff like that that you can use in ChatGPT and take over there to do the same thing that this tool is accomplishing. So those are kind of the two paths that I'm looking for at the end of this. And as we're going along this, if you have any questions, like we have a small crowd, so you can feel free to unmute yourself or throw it in the chat, and I'll make sure that we address those. Because at the end of the day, my goal is that, like I said, I want valuable information to go into everyone's hands that they can actually utilize after we're done with this webinar, that would help them in their practice. So with that said, I'm going to open up and start sharing my screen. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to walk through the concept of how to build a brand voice, how to build a brand playbook, and also then filling out a product playbook. And like I said, take the questions that you're seeing from here and translate over into ChatGPT, and how that's going to help you out. And for those that, because I know there's Scott, you're just starting with us, and then Nicole, I see that you're on as well. For you two, this tool that I'm about to go over and show you is already built into your lead-based CRM. So I'm going to show an example of an end result of where we're going with this, and then I'm going to open a new account. And if one of you don't mind, I'll use one of you as the example of going through it, and I'll create some stuff around it so that you understand how that works. So let me share my screen, and like I said, I'll show you the end result, and then we'll kind of we'll take a volunteer and we'll walk through this. All right, can everyone see my screen real quick?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what you're seeing, this is built into our CRM. It's a tool that we call Lift Copywriting. Full transparency, this was a platform that was built off, like we white label this, and it's a platform called Hey Levi. So Hey, H-E-Y, and then L-E-V-I. So you can find it in the marketplace out there. We've done some stuff on our end to kind of adapt it a little bit, but we've also built it into things. And what I'm going to show you is the end result of what we're looking for. And this is going to be the starting place of what it's going to accomplish. So first off, what you're seeing in here is that there's three things that we're going to end up creating: is a brand voice, a brand playbook, and then a product playbook. The last bonus that we're going to do before this session is done is that we're also going to give you, for your brand voice, your top of the funnel prompt, your middle of the funnel prompt, and your bottom of the funnel prompt. Because each of those voices have, when you create content, you're going to talk to completely cold contacts a little bit different than you're going to be talking to people that have interacted with, an ad or a message or things like that, or have had a meeting with you. And those people, the middle of the funnel, are going to interact differently than your bottom of the funnel, which are people that are just at the end of the sales process. Like you met with them, you took a financial needs analysis, you did you did something else with them. They're really interactive. They aren't closed yet, but those three people are going to interact very differently together. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you the prompts to actually create those top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel concepts, so that you can utilize them to create different content for those different marketplaces. All right. Does all that make sense so far? Everyone with me? All right. So with that said, what you're seeing right now is this is an end result of a brand playbook. So giving an elevator pitch, coming up with the colors, coming up with customer avatar of their pain points, the positioning, the solution, the risk of inaction, the value propositions, the taglines, and the brand identities. So for those that already have a brand and already created, you're basically inputting information, and it'll they'll spit this out so it looks nice. For those that don't have a brand and are either getting started with that or just haven't spent the time to build it around, because we're independent agents, and none of us no one's really taught us and set aside to say, hey, you should have a brand and a brand voice and how all this works. So this is what it will help you create if you don't have that stuff. So that's the brand playbook. On the brand voices, then this is what I'm talking about. If you'll have a main brand voice, and I'll show you those prompts. We have a top of the funnel cold audience, we have a middle of the funnel warm audience, and then we have a bottom of the funnel hot audience. And then here's the third thing: is the product playbook. Is then coming up with the product playbooks. Now yours is going to be a little bit different. This is from our angle, from the marketing side, but we're going to create this for the insurance space specifically, of some different products and services that you're offering, and the questions that you would answer to be able to create these. And then you can use them to create different content pieces and stuff like that. All right, so that's what we're looking for at the end. So I'm going to go over to a fresh account. I'm going to go over to one of our demo accounts. And then, like I said, so we'll see if we have a couple, any volunteers real quick that want to start us off. But does anybody want to walk this, anybody want to walk through this process so that we can create this for you? Anybody got it? Do I got a volunteer? Nobody's volunteering? Someone's gonna get voluntold in a second.
I think you're on mute, right?
Let's see, Scott, do you want to, Scott or Nicole, do you want to walk through it?
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know what
So
the
I'm asking for a volunteer, basically. So I'll because we'll create this around some of your stuff then, so you can see a real live what it looks like.
I think we're not muted right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll mute you guys out, Nicole. But Scott, do you want me to walk you through this on that side?
Yeah, I about the group that I've paid fees to. We're doing all of this right now.
Cool. Well,
Okay, so I've got the paperwork to fill it out. I mean, we've got branding, a life story, and there's like we've got 30 different points that we're doing. So I don't know if this looks like it's probably duplicating what I'm already paying for and working on.
that sounds good. Let's see. Then Nicole, do you mind if I use you as an example?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I don't care. I'm on my cell phone, and I'm sorry. Like, we tried to get the Zoom link to come up on our laptop, and we were having some issues getting in. So I'm on my cell phone watching. Like, we're trying to go through this right now. It's just in a little bit of a smaller format. So
No problem. Well, I'll ask the questions, and what I'll do is I'm just going to walk this through and show you how this works. But we're going to set this up specifically for you then. So we're going to start here. We're going to start with the brand voice. So the first thing that you do is that you want to add content that would help create the brand voice. So we'll do something simple for right now. We're just going to add a URL, and we're going to use your website as the tool to pull information from. So that's the first thing. So we're going to add content, and we're just going to throw this in here, and then we're going to let it think about what that stuff, and we're going to analyze your page, and it's going to create your brand voice analyzing your website basically.
AI.
So that's one thing which ChatGPT can do. The same thing is you add in a website, you basically ask it to analyze anything that's on there. So this is what it's giving from this standpoint. It's naming it as the reassuring financial guide. And here's the description. So the writing style is professional, friendly, and reassuring, aimed at providing peace of mind to clients seeking financial insurance advice. It uses a conversational tone that is approachable yet authoritative, ensuring clients feel understood and supported. So does that sound accurate, Nicole, for kind of the brand voice that you're looking for?
We're still on units, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Okay. And the whole idea of this activity is, especially when it's like AI is analyzing anything that's already created, is you're reviewing that basically, looking through it, being like, okay, did it get it accurate? Does that feel like that's what we're talking about? So in this case, we'll say that it is. So it's professional, friendly, and reassuring, is kind of where your voice is coming from. And the examples that it's going to give then is an example of content. So are you considering your financial future but feeling overwhelmed by the options? So at your insurance solutions, we understand that planning for the years ahead can be daunting, whether you're welcoming a new child in your family or contemplating retirement. We're here to guide you every step of the way. So you can read through that, but this is an example content that it created basically just from analyzing the website of what that looks like. So we're going to say for right now that that's the brand voice that we're looking for at the moment. We can always change this in the future, but then we're going to hit save and make primary. So the brand voice is saved. All right. So now, we're going to go back. Let's see. We're going to go back, and then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on the brand playbook. So now I'm going to ask some questions in this end. So same thing, we're going to pull in the URL from the website, and we're going to see what it comes up with. So here's the questions that you would want to answer to kind of create more brand specific content. Is what is the name of your brand? Who is your target audience? What does your brand do for your audience? What is the biggest thing your brand stands against? What is the one thing you do best that your competitors do? And what is that you do best that your competitors don't do, excuse me. And then what is the one action you'd like your audience to take when they come to your website? So we're going to put in the website URL, and it's going to answer most of these questions for us. But if you're using other tools and you want to train your AI on how to understand your brand specifically, what you would want to do is add these questions in and say, hey, these are the questions that I'm going to answer so that you can understand what my brand, my agency is all about. And then you would answer these to the best of your abilities. And I basically to store that information and use it in any other future examples when it creates content. Now, the reason we built this is so that you don't have to figure that stuff out. So we're going to extract the brand from the URL, and we're going to see what it comes up with for all those answers by itself, just by analyzing the website. So as it's doing that, that's the kind of the questions that you want to ask. So like I said, it fills out everything. So let's see if it accurately describes, what you're looking at. So it got the name of the brand right, of course. Who's your target audience? So ideal target audience encompasses individuals and families who are at various stages of life and are seeking financial stability and security. This includes newlyweds, new parents. These includes major career changes and individuals contemplating retirement. The target audience is likely concerned with ensuring peace of mind and protection for their loved ones through life insurance financial planning services. Additionally, they are people who are value personalized advice and are looking for guidance in navigating insurance options, retirement planning, and financial strategies to secure their future. All right, here's the question, Nicole. Does that seem accurate? Is there anybody else that you would be targeting, or your target audience that you prefer to work with?
I mean, I feel like I think it's kind of spot on. I work with individuals, families, business owners. I feel like it is like it's kind of all throughout stages of their life because I'm working on retirement planning, I'm looking at life insurance. So I feel like it could be from early 20s to mid 60s.
Yep. And then we're going to include them because it didn't really talk about the business owners too much. We're going to include that in the target audience so that it remembers that for the future.
Okay.
So we're just going to say that we also work with business owners as well. So at least they know that piece, and we can add in more. But then, so we got the target audience in. The next
Okay.
piece is, what does your brand do for your audience? So Nicole Gross Close Insurance Solutions offers a comprehensive suite of services designed to provide clients with peace of mind and financial security. The brand specializes in life insurance, retirement planning, annuities, financial planning, and 401k rollovers. By working with clients, Nicole assesses their current financial state and provides tailored options to improve their savings methods and prepare for future needs. This personalized approach ensures that clients receive strategies that are aligned with their individual goals, whether they are looking to protect their loved ones with life insurance or need guidance on retirement readiness. So again, same question. Do you feel that your agency, that's what you're trying to accomplish for your audience?
It's pretty wicked with this AI.
It does do a really good job. Like I said, all it's doing is taking the content that you already created from your website and pulling in that information in a little bit more of a condensed form. So again, any of this stuff we can go back and change later, but I'm gonna kind of speed it up a little bit so that we can get to the good stuff at the other pieces. But so we'll say that's what the audience does. Biggest thing your brand stands against. Let's just see one thing against the uncertainty. Firmly stands against the uncertainty and financial insecurity that can arise from a lack of proper insurance and retirement planning. I mean, I think that sums it up pretty well. And then, like I said, I won't read word for word. You can go through this another time. And then, what do you do best that your competitors don't do? I mean, offering highly personalized and empathetic financial advisory services. So what sets the brand apart from its competitors is Nicole's ability to connect with clients on a personal level, which is true for all insurance agents and agencies. That's the biggest part that sells is your relationship with the client. So they got that down pretty accurate. There may be some specific things that you might think of later that you do that no one else does, like from a service standpoint. But I think that's going to sum it up for right now, unless there's anything else specifically that you're thinking, Nicole, like, well, we do this thing that I don't see competitors do.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I do differently is just about really spending the time building the relationships, understanding the situation, making it more of like a two-part, interview to come back and make those recommendations, and be an independent broker can write through a lot of different carriers. So it's just not always a one size fits all.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
Whatever you think.
No, that's good. So, like I said, we can always tweak this. I'm going a little bit more generic of what just the AI is pulling in right now, but like I said, we can come back to that. And then the one action, we want them to visit the website to learn more about the service offered, and then schedule a consultation, which that's perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create the narrative. So it's going to take that information, and now it's going to start creating an avatar, basically. With the information. And as you see, this is super, this is not difficult. It's giving you the questions to answer. You answer the questions, and then you fill in the information, and then it's going to take all that information and use it how it needs to. So right now it's taking a second. There's the narrative. So our custom avatar that it created is right now. It's a Emma. Emma's a 35-year-old woman from Denver, Colorado. Busy mom, who runs her own small shop, offers Emma's life as a whirlwind, soccer practices, school meetings, and managing her business. She dreams of a future where her kids are secure and she can retire without worries. So it goes to a whole scenario of what Emma looks like in this scenario. And so this is one of your, would you say, just based on that easy description, would this be someone that you would love to work with, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll leave that there. Like I said, you can go through all this, but then it's then creating the pain points, the positioning, your elevator pitch, the solution that you provide, the call to action, and then the risk of inaction. Again, we're not going to read through all this, but right now, word for word, but the idea is that it's pulling all that information and it's trying to think of basically, well, what is Emma's pain points? What's the positioning that you need to have? What would be your pitch to Emma? What's your solution that you're offering to this type of avatar? And what's the risk of inaction? What would happen if they didn't take any action? All this stuff. So we're gonna keep all this stuff right now. Like I said, we can always tweak it, but we're gonna go on so that we can finish up this and then go to the product playbook because I want to give the prompt then to everyone for creating top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel stuff. But so it took all that information and then created some value propositions. So it created 3 and then 3 taglines. So offers personalized financial service advice, ensuring families like Emma's feel secure and confident in their future. Sleep tight, Emma. We've got your financial future covered. 21 years of experience because life's plot twists need a good insurance plan. Financial decisions made easy so you can focus on being super mom. So like these are the kind of taglines that you would put out on like, social media and things like that of, hey, this is what Emma looks like and this is how we help people like Emma. And we want you to help with your financial decisions made easy so you can focus on being a super mom, which is what Emma needs to be doing. So it's pulling in all that information, and then we're going to let it create the identity pillars and colors. Nicole, you already have a brand. You came up with colors and things like that. So afterwards, what we'll do is we'll go back in here and we'll change the colors specifically. But again, for time's sake, we're just going to let it create whatever it creates. But as an example, if you didn't have any colors for anybody that's watching this recording and you needed to come up with some colors, this would be able to do that for you. So it would come up with with 3 colors and then alternatives as well, and then you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to activate. So we're going to use those, and then we're going to pick an alternative, and we're going to do this. And then it gives the behind the color what the colors mean and the rationale why it shows it and things like that. Again, we're going to put in here your specific colors in a little bit, and then we'll also upload the logo that you have. But again, if you don't have a logo, let's see. AI is not always great with logos, but we'll see what it comes up with real quick. I mean, I hate that logo. To be honest, too many colors. It's all over the place. We could probably come up with a couple to see if it generates a few different logos, but I would not choose that. So we're going to leave that alone, and we're going to create the fonts. But like I said, you can play around with it, and I've seen plenty of times it does create some good basic stuff. That one from a logo standpoint, I would not use, but you get the idea. And then same thing. I know you have your fonts. I don't know if I forgot to look the brand guideline if you have fonts and things like that. But this is going to actually help you create a font booklet as well of the different types of fonts that you should be using for that brand. As like I said, I won't activate any of these right now because I know you already have your own. But that's the other piece that it would do as well. So now we're gonna hit save. Like I said, we gotta pick one brand font, so we'll start here. Like I said, all that stuff can be changed afterwards. I'm just showing an example of what it's basically doing. So now you have your brand playbook though. So here's the brand playbook. Here's the customer avatar, the pain points, the positioning. So this is all created basically. Now, like I said, I know we'll tweak it, but now we have a bit of our foundation of when we want to start creating other content, then the AI is going to use everything that we created, everything that you see on here as the foundation for it to build email content, text content, social media content, and things like that. So we're going to leave that there, and then clearly have to fix that piece where it actually lets me go back to the main menu. But let's go out there. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to build a quick product playbook. So Product playbook is now going to be more specific about different type of products and services that you're offering. So we're going to keep this pretty broad. But for example, let's use, life insurance as one of those product playbooks. And it's already pulling in, so we have Emma as our target audience. And we don't have, like, you can also build the voice of the customer as well. I won't go into that right now, but we're going to leave this alone. And we're going to have it create 3 audiences, 3 different avatars for this specific product book. And then we're going to also then use this. So this is our brainstorm AI. And what we want to do is then go into here. And then we're going to create this so that we can then ask it, we're going to ask it to describe life insurance, unless you have a snippet that you want to put in here for the description. Describe how life insurance, how all different types of life insurance can be used to benefit clients. And their description, like term, indexed universal life, and more. So we're going to keep it pretty basic, and we're just going to copy and paste that description that they give us, unless it's absolutely terrible, into the description right here. And then we're going to skip variable life. So we'll get rid of that piece. All right. So now we have a description. We have target audience. We're going to create 3 avatars, and we're going to hit go. So now what it's going to do, like, so it's taking that information, and then it's creating 3 different types of people that are going to that would want to use, or not use, but rather that the solution is going to be a life insurance. So that's what it's basically creating right now, so that you can use that in your product playbook. You would create one for like life insurance, for annuities, if you're doing disability insurance, like different things that you're focusing on that you provide solutions for. That's what you would put into here, and then you can pick your product playbook when you're creating different types of content. So if you're trying to create content for disability insurance or long-term care or Medicare, well, that's going to look very different than if you're creating it for annuities or life insurance. All right, so here's one of the some of the personas that it gave. So we got Sarah. So they're giving a really young crowd, which works fine. And then we also put in, again, we're going to put in the URL to extract features and benefits and things like that, for this person. And then we're gonna close this up. But all these, again, for those that are listening in, if you're using ChatGPT on a regular basis, the only thing that we've done here is we made the user interface a lot easier. So all these questions are things that you might be answering, have to figure out yourself. So all you do is you take this, and you would be answering those questions in ChatGPT to get the right output basically from it. So we've got our pain points, we got our features, we got our benefits, we got our proof points. Again, I would spend some time cleaning some of this up. So like I said, I know we're mainly talking about life insurance as the product, so we would have to switch around some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm going to keep it pretty simple for now. We can always edit this afterwards, because like I said, I want to get to the last part of showing the funnels and then go from there. But here's the product positioning. So it's going to take all that information and then it's going to give you your positioning basically. So Scott, as it's doing that, it sounds like, is that something that you're already going through?
Um,
Uh,
in general, yeah, I haven't started working on it yet. I've got a stack of things that I need to fill out. So
mhm.
it's not electronic like this. It's paper based at this point.
Gotcha. No, that makes, and the only thing I'll say on that side is, you know, it may be, depending on the different types of questions asked, it may be beneficial to go through this exercise yourself because the content that it spits out for you you can use in on those forums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I said, I don't know what those forums exactly looks like, but I know answering all these questions and figuring all this on my own, I mean, that would take a while for me to figure some of that stuff out. And so that's really where ChatGPT and AI in general fills in those gaps. So we have
Just
our positioning now. To get back, elevator pitch, sales brief, like I said, product brief. Nicole, sometime you can go into this. And I never said hi to Alma, but Alma, nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you too.
And you can go through this. And like I said, really what you're looking for is as you're reading through this is this accurate? Is this what I'm looking for? Does this provide the solution of what I'm trying to accomplish for, with this product, um, with this marketplace? And then that's why it allows you to edit this and things like that. But then you tweak and change that so that then now once this is done, this is the upfront work. This is the sharpening the axe. So the idea of you have two people that are cutting down a tree and they each have 3 hours. One spends 2 hours sharpening the axe and only 1 hour cutting the tree down, and the other one spends all 3 hours hacking away at the tree just to cut it down. This doing this piece of brand voice, brand cloud playbook, and product playbook is the sharpening the axe activity. So that when you're cutting down the tree, you're building content, this is already built in. All right. So now we have our product playbook. We have our brand voice, we have our product playbook, and we have our brand playbook as well. So now, when I want to create content, then you would go here, and actually I'll show a better visual of just all the modules that are in here. I'm not going to go through these, but then once you have this in here, then these are all the different things that you can do. You can build content for sales copy, lead generation copy. You can understand what to do with search engine optimization if you need to add some keywords. You can create a whole webinar series that will give you live events and things like that. It'll give you presentation scripts, event registration pages for the content for it, and then the nurture sequences, the emails that go after it. The content repurposing, so if you need to take content that's already created and repurpose it, and then multi-day live challenges and things like that. Plus ad copy, blogs, cold outreach, business plans, competitive analysis, email newsletters, go-to marketing plans, event nurture sequences, image AI, lead nurture sequences, opt-in pages. So these are all the different things. If you just click on this, these are the things that it can create for you. The only one that I want to demonstrate really quick is the social media, because that I know is when I'm asked about these tools and things like that, this is the one that almost everyone asks about is, well, how do I create better social media content and things like that? So that module is already built in. If we wanted to, we can select the product that we want. We have our target audience. We're going to pick a persona. So we're going to do Mike in this case. And you can read about Mike. This is the persona that I created for the product playbook. And you can read all about him on the right-hand side. But what channel are we posting to? So we'll say LinkedIn for right now, just as an example. LinkedIn posts for April. And if you want to add content that you want to repurpose, you can add that there. And then we're going to use your tone of voice that we created. And then we're going to hit next. And then From there, it's going to create 5 different buckets that you choose from. So educational bucket, informational bucket, inspirational bucket, entertainment bucket, and then promotional bucket. So you would go through the titles, how to choose life insurance that suits your goals. I like that one. Recent trends in financial stability for families. And then we're just going to use those as an example. And then we're going to hit next. And I'm going to say create all posts. And then I'm using this as an example because, like I said, I know sometimes creating content is hard. Nicole, Scott, are you guys creating content on social media on a regular basis?
Yeah, I definitely post different things on social media platforms, but I'm not saying I'm doing it the right way, but I'm trying.
Yeah. Right now, how do you create your content?
Like with Thrive, I'm able to I'll pull like a picture from somewhere, and then I have like with Thrive, they have an AI button right
Yeah.
there at the social media, so I could say, okay, I'm looking for such and such, and then I can put it in there, and then I have some branding photos, so I'll incorporate those within. But again, I have a girl that's been posting like 2 to 3 times a week just because she's younger, but I also understand that I need to learn to get better in this market, like, because I need to be able to do my own for some consistency of what she's doing and also like what I'm doing. But she did force me, Nathan, you will like this. She forced me to do a video. I've never done a video before, Nathan. I did. And so she recorded me. She had like the 6 questions that she was going to ask. It was more, getting to know me personally. But I will tell you, I did that yesterday and she posted it. I had 3K views. And I was shocked.
Video content trumps almost anything else. And the content, honestly, content is king. Not the value of it, not the professionalism of it. Like, you don't need a high quality video. You can just use your phone and stuff like that. People eat that stuff up all the time. But you're absolutely right. So from that standpoint, I did finish up this side, and then I'm going to give everyone the prompts for the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel concept. And I'll show you how we use those. But this is a post that it created. So how to choose life insurance that suits your goals. It gives the steps, understand your needs, learn the types, consider your budget, think long term, seek simplicity. So, I mean, those are very simple steps, content that's already created. And then it also gave an image of, hey, a serene family gathering on a dinner table, symbolizing security and togetherness. And look, that's the image it created. I would say that's a pretty good image that AI created on that side. So you can pull that in and you can copy that, and that's content that's already done and created basically. So you can go to the informational bucket, generate the post, generate the image, and all this is saved. So that's the idea of using the tool to create content. You can kind of tweak and change it, but again, this is content that's already created for you, that you don't have to figure out. And like I said, it gives you a foundation to be able to use, because sitting there and creating content like that takes a long time. And the idea is that one of the main focuses of social media that you want is for people to be able to see consistency from you when they're looking at your website and then going to your social medias and stuff like that. You want them to see that you're posting on a regular basis. So that's what this is. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to give everyone the prompts for the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel concept, and then we will be done. So generate all posts. As I'm going through this, I mean, any questions on the social media side and stuff like that of or just on anything that you're seeing? Cool. All right, so we're done there. And now it's going to save all the content so that we can use it later. And then we hit done. All right, so we're cool there. The last piece that I'm going to give everyone is that in their brand voice. So, like I said, I didn't ask earlier, but that concept of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Have you guys heard that concept before?
No.
Or,
I'm ignorant on funnels. Everybody
Okay.
talks about it and talks about as though everybody understands them, and I don't have a clue. Okay, so uh, I
I'm going to take a step
understand
back on
the
that.
basic concept of a funnel, but I have no idea how it applies or what the parts are.
So to take a step back for everyone that's listening, and so the funnel concept is where as people come into your funnel, your sales process, the most simplest and basic idea of that is what's called top of the funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of the funnel.
Mhm.
What that means is at the top of the funnel, those are completely cold contacts. They don't know you at all. They've never met you. They're not a lead. They're not anything. They're just data floating out there basically. So the top of the funnel, um, you talk differently to cold contacts than you would people that you know. So that's the basic idea of the funnel is showing you a visual representation of so like here I'll pull up an image. Top of the funnel, tofu, mofu, bofu, funnel. So here, this is the idea of a very simple idea of this is the basic foundation of what the funnel concept is top of the funnel, which is awareness, bofu, which is consideration stage, and then bofu, which stands for bottom of the funnel, which is decision stage.
Yeah,
This is what everyone means by a funnel, basically.
I understand.
Is,
Okay, what you've
yep.
said so far, I understand.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so yeah.
So on that side, then the only gap that I'm filling in then is um there's different activities that you're doing in those different stages. And funnel pages, that's what they're designed to do, is that they're designed to take people through the stages of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel to get them to a decision to either book an appointment or fill out a form or something like that with you. So like the awesomeness group's got like that's the type of landing pages. Landing pages and funnel pages are synonymous. Is that's what it's trying to accomplish is getting cold people to get to know you, your information, turn them warmer so that they make a decision so that they can work with you in some way, shape, or form. All right. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to step my screen share and I'm going to show, I'm going to give everyone the prompt and then we're going to wrap up so we can get out of here on time then. And then we'll go from there. So here's the prompt and I'm going to give this prompt to everyone. So if everyone wants to use this in, like I said, ChatGPT or anything like that, just copy and paste this and save this. But I'll show you what the prompt looks like. And then I'm going to show just briefly how you would utilize it within the tool. So give me the three exact brand voices I need to use in order to resonate with my customer avatar at each of the three primary stages of my brand funnel, please. Because you always not got to be nice to AI as an example, because when they take over the world, you want them to remember you. They used to ask nicely. Awareness and consideration, top of the funnel. Preference and purchase, middle of the funnel. Loyalty and advocacy, bottom of the funnel. Hot audience. Use my brand writing style as a baseline for each new brand voice. Break each brand voice into a detailed 10 to 12 sentence description, followed by a detailed 10 to 12 sentence example with distinct personalities to match the growing relationship with my customer at each stage of the funnel. For example, a person rarely talks the same way on a first date as he does when he talks to his wife. Personality at each stage of the funnel should reflect this revolution of personality as well. So I'm going to do this really quick, but what we're basically doing is going into the brand voice in, actually I apologize, we're going into the brainstorm session first. And we're just going to use the brand playbook. We're not going to use the product playbook. And then we're literally just copying and pasting this into the brainstorm session, and it's going to give us then the 10 to 12 sentences for each part of the funnel. And then what we would do is we would take this, the information it gives us, and copy and paste that and create 3 separate brand voices. Like I said, I'm skipping over for time because I want to end in about 7 minutes. And I also just want a moment to see if anybody, so sometimes that happens. AI engine is currently overloaded. So you just type in again, and it'll pull out. But anyways, I want to end on time, so I'll show you the end result of what that looks like I showed at the beginning. And the reason that this is important is that then when you start creating content, you can choose the brand voice. So if you know that you want to create content for a cold audience, then you would choose your top of the funnel voice. If you're trying to create content for like an email sequence to clients that already know you, or people that are at the end of that the decision tree, then you would choose bottom of the funnel, so that it would use that information then to create more tailored content. And that way, then you don't have to tweak your content, and your content's very personalized, even though AI created it. So this is what it's doing. It's doing for each one. It's giving the description, and then it's giving the example for each part of the funnel. And like I said, I'm going to flip over real quick and show you guys the end result of what mine looks like. And this is what we're looking for. And then we'll stop, see if anybody has some quick questions, and then we'll wrap up. But if you go into brand voices, so this is what I'm looking for. This is what it's going to end up creating, is those 3 stages: top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. It described it, and it gave an example. And so now when I create content, so let's say I want to create a email newsletter, I can go in here, and so see where it says tone of voice. I don't want to use that one. I want to create a newsletter for a warm audience. So that's the application of that knowledge when you create those different funnels. So now it knows who my audience is. So now when it creates that content, it's going to tailor that voice to that audience. And that makes the biggest difference in creating, using AI to create content, so that it is much more personalized and much more focused on who you're actually trying to talk to. But that's what I mean by taking the time beforehand to figure that stuff out, because AI is a great tool, but AI doesn't know who you are. And so doing things like this beforehand to train the AI on your brand, your voice, your product, and things like that, although that takes a little bit of time at the beginning, allows you to create really adaptive content and brand specific content that you can use anywhere that you want to. All right. I'm going to wrap up. It's 12:56. So we got 4 more minutes. But any questions about that? I know that was, hopefully that wasn't like drinking water from a fire hose. But any questions about any of those pieces or anything like that that you saw, or you want to take a deeper dive into, or any comments?
I'll want to talk with you individually. Okay.
That sounds good, Scott. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I know we got to set time anyways, but
Yeah.
Nicole, anything else on your end as well?
No, I mean, not at this point. I definitely think it's good to know that we have that available, and so I guess we just need to spend the time going through and tweaking some of the things we went through today. But that's something Alma and I can work on together.
Absolutely. And the other thing, like with Alma being on and stuff like that, is, now that that's kind of creating and tweaking that, like that may be something to use to help create other content and things like that, like almost so that you don't have to try and figure it out all on your own, or
Right.
writing it all out. You just jump into here and be like, oh, I'm trying to create a newsletter because Nicole said I need to create a freaking newsletter.
We love AI.
Yes.
We love it a lot. Think hard,
Exactly. So
think smarter, not harder.
absolutely. So with that said, I'll jump. We'll jump off then. Hopefully, this was beneficial just from a little understanding of, like I said, how you can create brand-specific content using AI. And really looking forward to seeing how people use it. And we'll post this recording out in a little while, and we'll go from there. But Scott, appreciate you jumping on.
Thank you.
Nicole, you too, as I said. And for anybody else that's listening, thanks for taking the time to listen. All right, you guys have a good day.
Thanks.